Give me 1 second. We're
Excellent.
live.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. It is great to have you join us today and look forward to answering all your questions, giving you some great ideas. I just wanted to say what we're doing is diving in to one of the best and easiest and most powerful ways to finish 2025. It's a great way to close out this last inning of your year and to really connect with the people that you care about and let them know what you're doing or what's going on and what's important to you. So thank you so much for being here. I'm Sarah Basloe, and I am a business coach, and I'm with a greeting card company and love greeting cards. So this is a fabulous time of year for me. And I am with
So yeah, and my name is Michelle, as you guys, some of you know, and I go by Shel. So, and my last name will be changing soon. So as of the next time you watch this video, I will probably be Shel Soko. So just so you know, don't be confused by that. And I used to be the person that would spend hours and hours and hours writing greeting cards and addressing them and mail them, and then they'd live in my car for a week, and I wouldn't get them mailed. And so when I met Sara, it's been about almost 20 years ago now. I was introduced to her through the same greeting card company she's part of. And I was like, oh, I need this. And I joined because I didn't know at that point that it was a business. I just thought it was a cool card sending service. And I actually jumped on board because I was like, I need the service. And great if it's a business, but I needed the product. And so I've used this personally for 19 years, and I use it in my everyday business. I own a virtual assistant network. And this time of year, we've already got holiday cards going out for clients all over the world right now. And so this is a great way for business people to stay in touch with people that are in their sphere and your friends and family. Don't forget them, right? You got to have friends and family. So let's go through what we're going to talk about today. So, relationships drive revenue, and we know that we want to strengthen yours today. For example, Donnell and I know each other through a business years ago, and we still stay in touch. And she watched my Facebook Live. That's how she knew we were here today. And so, um, the world needs to know about things you love. And this is one of the things that both Sarah and I love. We love greeting cards. And it's really because we love the people on the other end of the mailbox who are going to be opening it up. So we love you is the message. So
I could not agree more with Shell. Absolutely, just love thinking about you getting a greeting card and opening up and the smile. That's the way I react, and I guess that I'm imagining everyone does as well. So one of the important things, well, a couple of things that are important about greeting cards is they really set you up for a win. Uh, they're tangible, they're personal, and they open up more conversations. I wanted to tell you about a story of a real estate agent who joined our company, and she and her husband were doing this was I thought this was really interesting. They were building their business, and 35, excuse me, sorry about that. 35% of their business came from referrals. They started sending greeting cards to people they met at a networking event, to people that were in the chamber or in BNI or women's groups or men's groups or whatever networking groups they were in. They started sending cards. And it ended up that the next year, their business was 98% from referrals. So this is why cards still win. You make people feel really special. They feel connected to you. And that's a really big win.
yeah,
Michelle.
I agree. I also have a real estate story. Mine's a little opposite than yours, though, but I want to share. This is the reason I actually said yes to send out cards is to use the service. Is I bought and sold three homes in a matter of a 6 month window. And my realtor gave me a trampoline as the closing gift. Cool. I didn't really want a trampoline, but I got a trampoline. But I then never heard from that person ever, not ever again. And I literally said, if that person would have just sent me one holiday card, just saying, hey, thinking of you, I would have called them the next time I was going to buy and sell three more homes. But they never stayed in touch with me. So they lost my business because they didn't even take the time to send me one physical piece of mail that said, hey, I'm thinking of you, not an email, but a physical piece of mail that I would have touched and when like, oh, I loved my experience. I remembered the trampoline. So that's the reason I started sending cards is because I didn't want to be the realtor that didn't stay in touch with people. So, yep.
So important.
Interesting.
Yes.
So, what we're going to do today is help you get started. And so, what we're going to talk about today is the planning part of it is what kind of holiday card do you want to mail? Not everybody celebrates the same holidays. We all have different values, we all have different beliefs, we all have different traditions. And you have to decide what kind of card you want to represent you. And that can look different for everyone, and that's a-okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about designing a card as a template, a card that you can use once to go to many versus every single person having a different one. That is possible too if you want to take the time to do that. But we want a short, impactful message that just shows your love and your care for that person. And then this is the part that I think stops people most from sending cards is getting your contacts organized, right? We've got them on social media, we've got them in our phones, we've got them on sticky notes. How many of you, like, oh, I need to update that address on my address book and it never really gets there. Well, we want to make it easy where you can gather your names and addresses and then like what would the word be? I was going to say rank them. That's not really the word, but put them into tiers where it's like friends and family, business associates, employees, that kind of like segmentation. And then the sending is super simple. We will show you this, but basically, you're going to proof your card, make sure there's no typos, schedule it so it goes out when you want it to, and then set up reminders. It is the fortune is in the follow up. We all know that is staying in touch long term, not just once. Is there anything else on that?
No, that I think that covers that. That's excellent.
Okay.
So step one is looking at what the plan is. As Shel said, it's segmenting your list, creating your contact tiers, looking at VIPs, your core circle, and your broader network. So this is a special time. It's a perfect window to deepen those connections. And it's important that you segment the list so that people really you give the people the attention that I guess is necessary or makes sense. So VIPs are people that you've done business with over the last year. They are people that you may see regularly at networking events. They definitely are people, though, that you've done business with. The core circle are people that, oh, and I wanted to say, as the slide does say, it's 3 to 5 people. However, if you've been in business a long time, your VIP list is probably much longer than that. And it also depends on what business you're in. So that 3 to 5 could be 20. I mean, it could be 30. The distinction with the VIPs are that you also send them a gift. And so we're going to talk about this in a little bit. You want to be conscious of your budget. You could have different layers of VIPs that get a more expensive gift, middle range, good, better, best. But VIPs are people that you've done business with. And the core circle, these are people that you have key relationships with. You've given them referrals, they've given you referrals. You may have done business with them, a little bit of business, so they may not have qualified for VIP, although I would recommend anybody that has given you business is a VIP. So in the core circle, These are people that you just want to acknowledge for their supporting your business and maybe you supporting theirs. And then the third tier is your broader network. And with all of these tiers, of course, it depends on how long you've been in business, how big is your database, and your budget. So the broader network could be people from your BNI, it could be from people from chamber, could be people from NABO, National Association of Women Business Owners. It could be from a men's group. There are all sorts of networking opportunities that I hope you all are taking advantage of. And that this is your broader network. And it also can include your friends and family who know what you do. I know that may sound funny, but sometimes our friends and family don't really know what we do. They're not maybe not business minded, or they're just not necessarily an ideal client of yours. And those that do know what you do, they should be in your broader network. So,
Yeah, I love that. And then it's really important for you guys to know holiday, anytime you mail something in the physical mail, you want to be ahead of the holiday. So you want to schedule it to arrive before the holiday, not mail it, the day before the holiday. But I will say, I've gotten cards after my birthday or after holidays, and it's still important to send, even if they're running late. But we have plenty of time right now to not be late. But sending late is better than never is my philosophy. And then again, just make sure that you take just a few minutes. We'll show you how, and you work ahead. And this reminds me, Sarah, of a referral of a lifetime, that book where you
yes.
list out your contacts, you make a strategy for keeping in touch, you do certain people get gifts and the tiers. So that's what this reminds me of as you were going through it. I'm like, that's this book on one slide.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, here is just some examples of what cards could look like. For example, the top one is a Christmas card, and we're going to start at the top and go across to the right. And so on the outside is a picture, on the inside is a bigger picture. On the left panel, the right panel is the message. And then the back of the card, this one is Sarah's custom back on there. You can have that. You can also use a variety of different fonts, colors, and pictures as well. And there's thousands and thousands of cards to pick from. So our system is really, really great. But you want it to be meaningful and impactful. So, and you can, as a side note, just as an upgrade, you can put it in your own handwriting. If you do that and then plan for the future, the cards can be in your own handwriting, which is super cool.
Excellent. Excellent. So, what we'd like to do is offer you a follow up to this conversation. We've got a couple of um, uh, samples of copy that you might use in your greeting cards. Sometimes I find actually that people won't even do the cards because they're like, I don't know what to say and I don't want to sound, scripted. I want it to be authentic. And so we have put together a one sheet that has some other things on it, but one of the things it does have is swipeable copy. So you can, when they say swipeable, you can swipe it and use it as your own copy for the cards that you make. But here we have a general holiday cheer, dear Mary, Mary and Tom, or Mary, Tom, and family. I'm wishing you a season filled with joy, peace, and warm moments. You'll always remember. Warmest regards, Sarah or Shel or your name. So you want to end it. No business involved in that message. It's purely heart to heart. A Merry Christmas theme, dear John and Christy, may your Christmas sparkle with laughter, love, and everything you bring that brings you happiness. Warmest regards, your name, and a New Year's wish. So, dear, Jason and Karen, cheers to a bright, fresh new year ahead. May it bring you joy, health, and wonderful surprises. Warmest regards. So the messages are really, they can be very generic, and you can make them even a little more personal if you want. The idea of the cards that we're talking about is you're creating one card and sending it to many. And those are our printed cards. We do have a digital card that is one to one. So you could make those much more personal. And those are sent one at a time to somebody's mailbox or WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram. And getting those cards out really makes a huge difference. Take it away, Shel.
Perfect. And I was going to say years ago, I got a card in the mail and it had your picture on the back, Sarah. And I was like, how did you do that? And it didn't feel, and it had your website and it had some contact information. It didn't feel like a card that was selling anything. It was just really personal because every card you get from Hallmark or, any of the box stores, when you flip it over, their information's on the back. So this actually felt even more loving because it was like, oh, someone I love is on the back of there. So for those of you who are more advanced, you can, put your picture, your company logo on the back just for branding purposes. But again, we want to remember the card is not falling out with business opportunities and sales scripts and stuff. It's really love wrapped up in an envelope that you're sending to someone you care about is really what it is. So, yeah,
Shel,
good job on those messages.
I just want to say, Shel, you are so right on. And what I like to tell clients and customers is the back of the card is like real estate, and it's really valuable because you get to put who you are, your contact. But as Shel said, no promotion on the inside.
Yeah. So I just, my sister-in-law just sent a card with our system and it had pictures of people that celebrated her birthday. And so there was a picture on the front, a picture on the inside left, a message on the right, and then their picture on the back. And these people were gaga. They were like, how did you do this? It was the coolest thing. They went crazy. It was awesome. So the next thing, this is again my favorite part. I keep coming back to this is contacts. And so this is an easy way to do it is open up a Google Sheets or an Excel document and you just make some headers across the top. The columns per se would be first name in one column, last name in the separate column. You don't want it to be Shel Soko in one column. You want it to be Shel and Soko. And then their email, their phone, mailing address. That means street address. And then I recommend you do city, state, and zip separate as well. So those are all just different columns. And then your tiers, Sarah already talked about those tiers, but that's the group per se you want them in. And then the goal is for those of you who are highly motivated or maybe unmotivated and you keep procrastinating, we would love to throw a challenge at you, is open your phone and just figure out 10 names and 10 addresses in 10 minutes, right? Those could be literally your tier one, like the customers who you serve this year, and just take 10 minutes and just do it in 10 minutes at a time so that you don't feel overwhelmed. It doesn't take all day. Just make this an easy process. That way you get organized in chunks of time, not, days, months, years of time. Let's do it quickly.
So take a look at your Facebook, wherever it is you have your customers, write them down. We're doing this right now. This is exercise number one. So you're watching this, stop the video if you'd like, or just keep it going. And
Yeah.
write down your those 10 people. And it
So
may
do we
end up,
want to do that right now? Do we want to take 10 minutes and do right now? Is that what you're saying?
well, what I'd like to suggest is that everybody write down two or three.
Okay. So if you
Yeah.
guys wouldn't mind just, I'm going to do it right here. And what I'm going to do, I have a piece of paper and I'm just going to write it right here. I'm going to actually think of my clients that I serve this year, including new clients and people who have referred people. Because this morning, I don't know if you guys are a sticky note person, but I wrote down 4 names of people I need to follow up with. Well, those people should be on my list. So I'm going to write down a couple names real quick. And just a tip, since for those of you who have multiple streams of income, you might just go, okay, who do I serve in this area of my life? If you have a coaching business, who are your coaching clients? Who are your potential coaching clients that you've talked to that maybe haven't signed the dotted line yet? Who are your, traditional business clients? Or if you're a network marketer, as we know many people are that we are associated with, like who are your leaders? Who are the people who are showing up to calls? And those are just some good ideas of who are your customers that you might want to throw on a list.
Anyone that is in business, um, people who might be watching this right now, people in voice acting who have a business as voice people, um, realtors and real estate investors, um, network marketers, coaches, um, attorneys,
Authors.
authors, anyone, you can make this list. And as Shell suggested, separate it maybe by the business so that you reach those 5 to 10 people that are in that business. So I have my 10. Shell, Danelle, have you got your 10 or five?
I know she's working. She might not have been able to. I have
Okay,
13 that I just wrote down just in that
excellent.
little short time. Yeah.
Excellent. So we believe that you've done it. If you want to, you know, text us or put a message up on our Facebook pages, feel free to do that. We'll look forward to hearing how the exercise went for you and how it's going to start triggering you to get your cards uh, finished this week, possibly. It is Thanksgiving. This is a great time to be sending your cards. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
so
Cool.
want to get start again? Yeah. Okay. So the next thing is when you've got your card, you want to be sure that it says everything that you want, and you want to make sure that it is the spelling and everything in your message is accurate. And then you want to make sure, these are all the make sure things, is that your addresses and names and everything you want to have organized is done. And my husband's in construction, and he says measure twice, cut once. So that's what you want to do with this, is just proof everything to make sure that you have things the way you want them. The second thing is strategic scheduling. So, one of the things that Shell talked about earlier is reverse engineering your mailing. So, this Thanksgiving is next week. Getting your cards out, this past Tuesday or Wednesday would work, and your recipients would get their cards probably on Wednesday or Friday of next week. So you want to reverse engineer. We like to suggest 2 weeks before, just so that they're on time. And you know, th also talking about reverse engineering is figure out when you'll send to your first to tier one, when you'll send to tier two, and when you'll send to tier three. In our system, it makes it really easy. You can send them all almost within an hour. It used to take me literally 3 months to send my holiday cards, and I loved doing it, but it was so much time. It was just so much writing. And then I discovered, um, our greeting card company, and it was just great. I took 3 months of work and cut it down to 2 hours. And that was just because my database had to be worked on. I find that the biggest thing for most people is getting their mailing list in shape and in order. And so that's what seems to take a lot, but it's picking the card, writing the message, is really quite easy. So strategic scheduling, be sure you're reverse engineering that and setting up tasks like what you're going to do. One of the important things is now that you've sent cards, how will you follow up with these people? I mean, this is another reason for another touch. So be sure to send those reminders out to yourself to follow up with the people that you send cards and gifts to. Not getting on and saying, "Oh, I sent you a gift. Did you get it?" just how are you doing? How was your holidays? What happened? What was new for you? What was something that was most exciting for you? So use it as an opportunity to open up the door for the next conversation for 2026.
Wonderful. Just a few thoughts that I wrote down while you were talking. One of the things I love about our system, a few benefits, is it's one place for addresses. It is actually my only address book. Of course, I have my inbox, my email inbox, but every person's address lives in this system. And so it's also exportable. So you could export your entire database and then you'll have it for other systems as well. So as a business person, it's ideal to have one place for names and addresses. And then, Sarah, you said something. You said and it took me days to do my cards, and sometimes months. I think I heard you say and now it's hours. So, guys, if you could save yourself months, days, and hours as a business person, what else could you do with that time or quality time with your family, or self care, or again, doing another business deal? So, really think about this is really a time saver as well. And then you mentioned a couple times, I heard you say gifts. You can send gifts, or your VIPs get gifts. There's a greeting card section. There's a entire gifting section, which includes gift cards and foods and just little trinket items like, hey, I'm thinking of you type of things. And so you don't have to, when someone has a baby, you don't have to run to the store anymore. You use our system and you hit send. And so I know we're doing holiday cards right now, but this goes all year round. Is you're a business person and this makes you look super professional. So I just love some of those things you said.
Totally
All
great
right.
add-ons. Excellent.
So we're going to watch a quick little video, and I actually am going to stop sharing for 5 seconds because when I shared, I didn't do share sound. So let me do that again. And okay, and we're going to learn more about send out cards. That is the card system we're using to make your holiday cards easy. And then these are our QR codes, since you know one of the two of us, and we'd love you to help you get started sending your cards today. So let's watch this quick video. And Sarah, if you can give me a thumbs up so I know you can hear it when it plays. Right, let's make sure that it works. Hmm.
It's not playing.
Okay, it is playing on my end and I hear sound. Oh, I
Oh,
hold on. Now it's going to play. Okay, hold on. It was playing for me.
right. There are so many places that no, not yet.
Nope, can't hear it. Okay, it's 2 minutes long. I just want you to watch what's happening on the screen, and you're going to see how easy it is since the audio's not sharing. I can try one more time.
Or
Um, share,
I
share.
can I can possibly play it as well if
Okay,
that works out.
let me try this. Let me try it one more time before we go. Oh my gosh. And as she showed on the thing, she was using her phone. So you actually can use your phone as well. So great.
It, using your phone, using the phone app is wonderful. You can send a card from anywhere you are. I mean, even on a laptop, you can do that. You can log into your account, but using a phone, take a picture. Oh my goodness, that's one of the beauties of this. I'm going to show this picture. This was
Let's stop sharing for a
okay.
second. I'm gonna have you, I'm gonna pin you so that you are on screen. Okay.
Okay. This is a picture. This is a photo card I did that I sent when I got back. I went to Mount Everest, but the reason I'm showing you this is you can do so many photos. Taking people's photos off of Facebook. It's just it's and here's a promotion on the back of the card. Actually, this was sent to me by a friend who also uses our system, and it was a joy receiving it. There's so many the opportunities to send pictures. It's just so much fun. So using your phone, use the phone app and send lots of
Oh,
cards. It's people love it.
okay. I love that. So, Danelle, I think you maybe went off video. Or maybe she dropped off. I'm not sure. I'll follow up with her, but I don't think we probably have any questions at this point. But if you're watching this replay later, oh my gosh, stop. Let me share my screen properly. I can use my computer, I promise. Um, so I just want to make sure that you know where to go and pay from current slide. So Sarah's, it should go in a minute. Sarah, are you seeing anything?
No.
Okay.
Oh, there we
So
go.
all right, so Sarah's QR code is on the right, but her link is sendoutcards.com/Sarah, and that's Sarah with no H on the end of it. And mine over to the left is just sendoutcards.com/Shel, and that's Shel, Soko, Soko. And we are just happy that we could bless you and bless the world by letting you send cards. So thank you for listening today.
Have an outstanding Thanksgiving. It's a joy to be here with you and look forward to hearing from you soon and being able to help you create relationships in your world that you really want.